Hello, here I am again, and now with my suitcase. So I'm going to show you how I pack the rest of my clothes that I'm not wearing on my travel day and my other bits and bobs into my carry-on. I love this carry-on. This is a lipo bag. What I love is that they have these little snaps down here and you press and the whole bag compresses. So when you don't have anything in it, you can store it super easily in your hotel room, or if you're in a cabin on a cruise where you have no room, this is a super little suitcase. Anyway, so you pop it open like this, and then you can start to pack. So first thing I pack are my shoes. So as you remember, I have 2 pairs of shoes. I always put them in some sort of bag. If I don't have this kind of a pouch, I use a grocery shopping bag, plastic bag, but anything to protect my clothes from my shoes. So I put those in the bottom part where the wheels are. And then my other super high-heeled shoes, which wouldn't fit into that kind of bag, I put in a drawstring, or again, I would put it in a shopper. And I put it at the bottom of my suitcase like that. And then I know people love to pack with packing cubes, and I do too for bigger suitcases. But when I have a carry-on and I've got to get everything into my carry-on, I tend to leave things out of the cubes, because then you can really shove things into nooks and crannies, and it makes packing easier and much more sort of space efficient. So like, for example, my very sexy Paul Frank pajamas, I can just shove in here, and they really, then are well packed in and taking up the least amount of room. The same with my bras. I just take them like they are and stuff them into the corners. And then you can stuff the rest of your stuff, like your underpants and your socks and your tights and all of that, go into there as well. And just all in your corners. Use your corners everywhere with all your smalls and things. It doesn't matter if they get sort of stuffed into corners and used as stuffing. I always take a little shopper, because you never know. So you can pack it in your suitcase, and then when you're wherever you are in your destination, Frankfurt for instance, put it in your handbag and you have an extra little bag. And then on your return home, you can always stuff your smalls and things, dirty laundry, into here, and then stuff it in this bag. So definitely I take my little shopper. A friend of mine makes these wonderful little traveling jewelry pouches called Mad Bags, and you can get one at madbag.ca. And she just does, they're the cutest things because they have tons of little pockets, and you can put a ton of jewelry in here, and it just stores super well. So, oops, got that little bit. I absolutely love these, and I put them in, and your jewelry is totally protected. Please don't take stuff that, is really heirloom precious to you. I just take really fun costume pieces that I don't mind if I lose. You really have to think that way, I think, when you're traveling. There's nothing worse than losing something that is really meaningful to you. So I just take really fun costume jewelry on my trips. I also always take an umbrella, because I can't stand getting rained on. And this is actually a really fun Japanese one. It's super small and flat, so I tuck that in there. Always take your plugs if you're going to Europe. Make sure you have the right country. I am going to Germany, remember? So I've got my correct plug, and I pop it in the side of my suitcase. And then with regards to my toiletries, I have this fabulous kit, and you can get so many of them now, but remember, you always have to pack small. So small hairbrush, small little tubes of lotion, and if you want, you can buy these little travel tubes, which are excellent, and they don't explode, and you can put your shampoos, your conditioners, your moisturizers, everything can go in these little tubes, and they're great. And I just pile them all in here, as well as my Tide stain remover. Really, really good to have on a trip. And don't forget that, if you are traveling with any of my clothes, they are, hand washable, and they're quick drying. So if you stain or do something, you can just, wash them quickly, hang them up in your shower, and they'll be dry the next morning. So I love these sorts of makeup bags, toiletry bags, because you can hang it, and it it's unbelievable what you can get into this sort of thing. So I absolutely travel with these, and they zip up super well, and your clothes are totally protected if you were to have some sort of, freak explosion, which can happen. This is a great kit. So I love this. So this I put in here. So I've got all of my stuff as well as my purse. And this is my evening purse because it's flat, and my husband brought it for me from France. I love it, from Paris, from a great shop called Merci. And look, it doesn't take up any room, and it's great. You can wear it for your evening bag. Totally packable. So now look at all the room I have in my suitcase still for my clothes. So my clothes are just going to be rolled. So I take them, so my Sabi reversible top, my halter top, I just take it and I roll it into a little roll, and I find a spot for it, and it's right there. And then again with my Ulu reversible top, I do the same thing. I just fold it like this, and then I roll it. So I've got it all rolled into a ball, like not a ball, but a roll, and stuff it in. And then the same with my Bria reversible skirt. I just fold it in half like this, and then roll it. And rolling is great because it really doesn't minimize wrinkles if you have wrinkly clothes. These are not wrinkly clothes, but again, it just makes for really tight packing. And then I have my Bara reversible dress, and I literally just roll it like this. And it's here. So I've got it all there. So as you can see, I still have room. I've packed everything. But if I wanted to, say, throw in a sweater or an extra pair of jeans or whatever, I could do that. Otherwise, you can leave the space, like just, move things around a bit so there's not big holes, and you have room to purchase something on your travels, which is always fun. And that's all in my carry-on. So I am packed for that. On my outside pockets, I put, if I'm taking an iPad, or if I'm taking, a reader, or I love books still, I carry books. So I put my book in here because it's easily accessible. From the outside pocket, I put my magazines. But I'm really done. I'm good to go. So I have packed my carry-on, and as I pointed out, I still have room. So I am totally psyched. Anyway, that's how I would pack. So I hope you've gotten something out of this. But anyway, it was a pleasure to talk to you about my pieces and how I would pack. So happy travels. See you soon.